I fucking love Monster Hunter.
I love this goddamn insane gaming franchise so much! I started out with Freedom Unite and clocked in over 200 hours. There's just something about clashing with colossal monsters with overly huge swords and hammers. It's that feeling of overcoming insurmountable odds that kept me hooked over these years and playing so many of their games.
And yes, I am very excited to play Monster Hunter Rise, now that I have a steady income and a very irresponsible mindset. But the latest Monster Hunter thing wasn't a video game. Oh, no. It was the Monster Hunter movie, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who's famous for such things as Event Horizon and the Resident Evil movies. Oh, fucking joy. Thing is though, when the trailer dropped, I was still excited. I mean, yeah, it looks stupid and dumb, but I was kinda sure I was still going to have fun. I mean, could you blame me?
Yes!
Oh. Well, alright then. The film was released in 2020 and was greeted with mixed reviews and a $47 million loss. But did it deserve all that? Well, let's take a look at Monster Hunter 2020. I'm not calling it that. Should I call it that? A special ops squad led by Artemis are tasked to track down a missing unit that disappeared out of nowhere. Their search takes them to the world of Monster Hunter, so they must get back home or succumb to the terrors of this new land. Best to start off with the positives, because while this film is mainly bad, spoilers for the whole video I guess, there are some decent elements to it, such as the only two things that this film actually cares about: destruction and monsters. The monsters are pretty well adapted to the screen, looking like they live and breathe this world. The Diablos, the Rathalos, the bug monster, I'm not actually too familiar with that guy. Even small monsters like the Cephalos or the Apsaros get a small shine. The fights and deaths are also weirdly graphic, and I kind of like that. In the games, damage is just something you shake off or fix with a potion, like in all video games to be fair. But in the films, you can actually see the pain and you can feel that damage. This is why I'm not really against adaptations for most things, because when an adaptation is good, it gives you a new perspective about an aspect that you never really thought about. And the majority of the film follows two characters from two different worlds trying to survive and connect through the most basic of actions. I oddly like this dynamic, and is one of the benefits of having this kind of story, which I'll talk about later. He's honestly one of the best things about this film. Him and Ron Perlman, which... Why does he look like that? Maybe it's because he didn't say so much dumb shit is why I actually like this character.
Look at my knees! What kind of knees are these? Chinese!
It's more insulting how bad the joke is, more than the weird racism. I should also preface that while these are indeed positives, they are only good to an extent. Yeah, the monsters look good, but with the wide variety of creatures this series has, it's a little disappointing that we only end up with 3. And I can already hear you complain, "Oh, you can't expect the filmmakers to put every single monster into the film now, can you?" No, that's not what I said or implied, you numpty! At the very least, they could have pulled the Detective Pikachu and just have small cameos of monsters around the area, just eating or fighting or sleeping or just flying around in the air. They could have at least tried that! And I'm not counting that sequel baiting bullshit at the end with that Elder Dragon or whatever the fuck he is. There's only 3 big monsters and that's all. Yeah, the action is decent, but I don't care about these characters, and neither does the film for that matter. It's also mildly ruined with these slow motion, zoomed in, fast motion editing that we all know is the best way to film an action sequence. Yeah, the character dynamic I discussed is cool and interesting, but I only care about one half of that dynamic. Artemis, and the rest of the Soldier Squad for that matter, are written so shit. They have the most generic shit lines I have ever heard. that it feels like they were written by predictive text. And they die like 20 minutes into the film, so it should tell you how much you should care about these characters. And this boils down to the overall problem with this film. Why are we following US soldiers? Why are you going to write characters that you don't even give a shit about? Why are we in a goddamn Isekai story? Thing is though, I don't mind the setup. I actually like fish out of water stories, and I understand why the filmmakers chose to go with this path first, because as detailed a world this is, it's going to be very hard for newcomers to just jump right in. However, but the reason why it doesn't work here is that this film doesn't go into enough detail about this world to warrant that story structure. If I was a newcomer, all I would know is that this world has giant monsters and Ron Perlman. There's also not that much detail to go into to begin with. So how do you fuck it up still? And it doesn't even have a Palico companion. Yeah, there's one cooking, but I'm talking about the hunter having a cat hunter too. That was one of my favorite aspects about this series. I know it's dumb and small, but it still adds so much to the world. I had one named Chrissy, and she's my favorite cat partner ever. I don't know why I added this bit in. I think I just wanted to lament.
And considering how I lost the data file for Chrissy, yeah, I'm a lot more sad about that.
So, really, why couldn't you just start in this world? I think it's pretty easy. Look, just look. Okay, oh my god. Let me just wipe all this down. I'm not allowed to wipe off this bit. Because Katie will kill me. I need to clear this fucking area. Okay, look. Here's how I would write it. I'm basing it off Freedom Unite because, honestly, that's the most familiar. That's the game I'm most familiar with. We start with Artemis. She's a child. The dad is the best hunter. But oh no, he's killed by T-Rex. So now we have her motivation. So now she goes Hunter Academy, where we meet 3 other people that she will be partnered with. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's not my job. So this is how we learn about the world and shit, how they hunt, the different monsters. So yeah, we get into this montage of like all the fucking shit they have to do, and then we get their first fight. That's showing off what they've learned, and it's against the Yayan Kut, because I want to see that featherless fucking bird die. But uh-oh, conflict. Artemis plays by her own rules. But they still pass, so they have their first mission. And then we have another montage about them hunting monsters or some shit. Kezu, Hermitor, Deo, Hermitor, and other monsters. And then, while they're fighting the Blangonga, the king of the mountains, they hear a faint roar. It's the Tigrex, something Artemis is most familiar with. And so the Tigrex attacks the Blangonga, and it's overwhelming. So the squad goes back and tries to strategize about what to do. They assume what's the best thing to do is to retreat and let the monsters kill each other. But Artemis, she's overwhelmed by the idea of revenge. So she goes in for the attack, and she's knocked out. Her friends try to save her, but they're knocked down too. I need to wipe it down. And then Artemis is reprimanded for being too reckless. A loose cannon! Out of control! And this is where the conflict lies. I should have planned this out a little bit better. My father's dead because of the T-Rex. I don't want anyone getting close to me because I know they'll end up killed. If my father, the best hunter, couldn't even live to see me, then how could I have friends that I could live my days with? Or something to that effect.
And then they have an understanding, but they tell her she's stupid and we should trust the team more. Maybe she goes out on her own, but maybe it's better if they go together. That was my original idea, but maybe it's better if they all go together. And then that's the climax fight. Wow, whoocha! One of them has a gun. One of them has a hammer. Bang! One of them has a sword. One of them is singing a song with a hunting horn. That's a thing, and admittedly, it's very useful. The cat hunters plan up traps because there are cat hunters. Psst, shock attack, and then fucking I don't know. That's the finishing blow. And then the film ends with them going out and like, woohoo! And on to the next adventure. I know there are more powerful monsters out there, but I think because that they're rookies, that the Tigrex would pose a decent enough threat for them to overcome. And also, I just really like the Tigrex. I would probably point out during the film that I'll probably make my own lore up a little. I'm probably gonna piss off Monster Hunter fans, but I'd probably say like the Tigrex is an invasive species, and it would destroy the natural ecology of the area, and that's why it's very dangerous. Though they only come out like once every 3 years or something like that. They migrate elsewhere for some reason. They don't know. It's a very mysterious creature. But that's all they know. But that's what I would do. I sort of just went willy-nilly at the end. Yeah. That's how I would write a Monster Hunter movie. I mean, it's a basic groundwork, but it's at least decent, right? Isn't it a little good? Please, tell me. Because I'm trying to break into the industry. Hi, my name is Rigel Long. If you'd like to hire me...
I probably went off the rails, but I don't know, I'm just really passionate about Monster Hunter. And this film, while a little bit fun, and I would watch it just to make fun of it with friends, it's a little disappointing that this is the first Monster Hunter film that we got. If you want to watch it for the benefit of knowing it's going to be shit, but a little fun. But for the rest, it's just stupid and dumb.